Hello and welcome. Showing you how to make handmade stationery. This is the exact kind that I made for my February 13th giveaway. 4x6 envelopes, well, slightly larger than that, and 4x6 inch cards. So I'll be showing you how to make this one, which I use an envelope punch board for. And then I'll also be showing you how to make this one, which doesn't require an envelope punch board. So first, I'd like to discuss a device that I use to make envelope making much quicker and much more consistent. It's called the Envelope Punch Board by We Are Memory Keepers. I think it was 20 bucks. I know. I myself was skeptical and unwilling to spend $20. However, I watched some videos on this thing and it really does streamline the envelope making process, especially if you want to make, 20 envelopes that are the same size. Not only that, but it's really easy to know exactly how big of a sheet of paper you need to make an envelope for whatever card size you need. For example, you can see down here that you just pick the card size, cut the sheet of paper down to the square size required, and then score it along the required marks. So, you don't need this, but it really does make things quicker and more consistent. You can fold any rectangular or square sheet of paper into a lovely envelope, and I will be using, in this tutorial, I'll use both. So you don't need this, but I will say that it makes shit easier, especially making stationery sets. You need to make 20 envelopes or however many envelopes, the same exact size. Let us discuss the supplies you will need. First, the envelope punch board that I have already discussed. You could use scissors if you wanted, but like I said, if you want no pencil marks, you're gonna need one of these. It also does diagonals, which is useful. It's my parakeet bitching. Adhesive. Let's talk about envelopes and adhesive. I've tried various types of adhesive. I do not suggest using these. Tape runners or glue sticks. No. Now I do suggest gel medium. And if you want, you can even, now see, I threw this and it broke. And I got cat hair all over it. God, there's fucking so much cat hair. Now, if you want, I will show you how I use gel medium in combination with a tape runner. The tape runner acts like an adhesive clamp and holds the envelope together while this sets. But in the end, this ends up being the thing that holds the shit together. And I've gotten envelopes from people that were sealed with tape runners, and it just, they come apart. It's not your fault. It's whoever fucking made this' fault. It's Tombo's fault. Or, of course, you will need a couple of sheets of 12 by 12 pretty papers. Here, I will be using the same, this is in fact the last 2 sheets I have, that delightful map paper. So this is what we're going to be using. I should probably just use this as the backdrop, right? Yeah, there we go. Alright, so, anyways. Now to start, we are going to make the 4x6 bifold cards. These are easy, so that's what we're going to do first. And we also, for the second envelope, we're going to need the card as a template to create the envelope without the punch board. So, let's make those first. I'm just going to, as I previously said, making 4x6 bifold cards is actually the way to go if you're using a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, because you can cut the sheet of paper into 3 equal sections, and those will be 4 by 12 inches each, which you can then fold in half to make 4x6 bifold cards. For example, here's the first one. All I did was cut a 4-inch wide section of paper off. Now to make the card, well, first let's finish cutting these. Now the sad thing about this is that you will get 3 cards out of each piece of paper, but only 1 envelope out of each piece of paper. So you're gonna need a lot more sheets for envelopes than you do cards. Keep that in mind when you're designing the way that you want your stationery to look. Now, here we go. These will be our cards. I'll fold them on here. The good thing about this is that it comes with a plastic bone folder. Now, each card is simply going to be a half folded version of these, rectangles. So, I mean, the cards are the easy part, really. I mean, this whole set isn't really that complicated. You'll see. All right, make sure we got a nice crease, and we do. I'm sure you're really excited to figure out how this works. I kind of got this one a little off. You can fix that with the punch or with the cutter, or maybe you do need scissors. I like to round the edges with the back of the. See, the back of this punch is also a corner rounder. And there's one. Texture. Look at that nice texture. I love this paper. It shows that it wasn't made by a machine. So, there are 3 cards. For the envelope, you'll notice we're going to make a 4x6 inch card. So we're going to need 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 inch paper. Starting with the 12 by 12. I don't hate math, I'm just not good at it. So, there we go, and it's just, if you notice, this is just too small to make another card. Although you could save that and make a smaller card. Anyways, I'm going to cut off 3 3/4 inches. Now we're left with an 8 1/4 by 8 1/4 inch piece. Oh no, I see a wasp coming this way. Okay. Now, this is the part you're gonna like. What we're gonna do, it said to score at 3 3/8. Perfect. I always score the paper like this. I start with the back because the score lines tend to, well, I mean, that's how it wants to fold. So, let me just make sure I got this right so I don't fuck it up. 3 3/8. So, shove it all the way in. Line it up. Line it up. 3 3/8. It looks a little off on the camera, but it's right, trust me. Now, punch. Score. Line up that score with the this little prong right here. Push it all the way in, and I've realized that what you want is you want this line to be right on the left side of the score. You don't want it to be right on there, or will not produce the effect you want. Punch again. Punch again. And here's where you get to see if all your hard work pays off. Does it line up? Does it line up? It does. Bam. And then that's the scored envelope. here's where we use this part. This is, you know, another reason why I really like this punch board, because it comes with, first of all, I didn't have one of these. I needed one of those. And this corner rounder, who doesn't need a corner rounder, honestly. Alright, so, all the corners are rounded. Now, decide what part you want to be the top. Take this as the bottom, and fold these things in like so, and then bam, you've got an envelope. And let's see, which one do I think would look best with? Got a little bit of yellow, a little bit of pink. How about this one? Ha ha, look at that. Perfect. Very nice, eh? So, now, this is what we're going to do with this. Place adhesive along both sides. And then, get gel medium and just make little dots. Now you gotta put the ribbon or the tape adhesive down first, or the gel medium will cause it not to be able to stick. And you're just gonna put little dots here and there. And then fold. The gel medium ensures that it's actually going to stay closed, because the tape adhesive isn't going to hold it closed very well, but it does act as an adhesive clamp, as I already said. So there is there's a piece of stationery, letter and letter and card. Now, I do need 2 more envelopes. And here it is, my last sheet of map paper. So, let's make an envelope for this card. So the sun is moving, so I need to change my shit. Alright. There's a rip on this side, so I'm going to keep that in mind. Instead of making a traditional, it's not very easy to make these diagonally folded envelopes by hand without a punch board. And without a template, I tend to just make them uneven and lopsided and fuck up a piece of paper. So, instead, I'm going to make a straight folded edge envelope. I don't know what the actual name for it is, but so what you're going to do is already have your card. I'm a visual thinker, so I'm able to manipulate this shit in my head, so I don't need to put. Okay, so fold up the bottom edge, and leave 1.5 inches or so of your card showing. I'm just going to crease that like so. Now, the way our envelope is going to work is that it's going to be, the edges are going to be folded in like that, and then this is going to be the top, and you're going to pull it out like so. So, then, let's see. Now, in order to make these folds crisp, you're going to have to unfold it. Now, fold the bottom edge. Use the edge to make sure that your crease is perfect. Perfectly straight, that is. Of course, it's very hard when there are holes in the fucking shit. Okay. There we go. Very nice. Now, that's probably... That's a little over 7/8 of an inch. So, let's measure the other side. Okay. I'm going to fold over this side. Perfect. Now you want the same width on this side, so 7/8 of an inch, and it's time to pull out this. Of course, it's easier to do it this way. 7/8 of an inch. I need 7/8 of an inch. Get out the ruler, or you can wing it like I'm doing. Now, excess pieces of paper. You can either use scissors or this. You want to cut off, and you hold your sheet like this. You want to cut this flap right here from here to here. Fortunately, this is come on. And I'm just going to rip this because no one's going to see it. Oh God. And see, this is what I'm talking about. My thing is dull. See, just fucking chomped the edge of that. Okay, well, we're gonna continue on despite that. So, more of this chomped edge. So, and there we go. Then, you decide how far up you want. For that, let's see here. First, we'll just give it a fold. Like so, and I'm thinking halfway down. This edge I'm going to rip to give it a little bit of handmade feeling. And then, of course, you do not need... Oh yeah, I do need scissors for this. Alright. Now, two. Wasp, I'm just gonna ignore you, go away. And then screw down. Screw down, screw down. Now, gonna put a little mark. That. Bam! And then there's another style of letter. Again, I'm just gonna gently slope these up a little bit, and then use the same style of adhesive as I did before. This is really out. Ugh. Well, you're lucky because I just ran out. Anyways. And you can make it a little bit bulky so you can fit more stuff in it. Blank and ready to be decorated. So, here are two styles of envelopes. I think this one's really cute. Kind of rustic looking, you know. So, I hope that opened up your stationery mind.